Somebody needs to die because this is a thriller.
Sure.
We need a death
I'm in.
right about now. And I think it should be the dad.
Okay.
Because I feel like he has probably information that we want.
Hello, welcome. This is If It Was a Book. It's a literary podcast where we take a situation that happened either to my guest, to myself, or to one of you lovely listeners, and we turn it into what we think would happen if it was in a book. And our qualifications are that I am a librarian, and I'm also a book talker, and I once read 130 books in 130 days. It was hard. I don't recommend doing it. Don't do it. That's not a fun time. And then we also have the lovely Aubrei. Aubrei, what are your qualifications for writing this book?
So I have no qualifications for writing whatsoever. Never written anything in my life, but I am a reader. I'm a book talker at Earl Grey Please, if Book Talk still exists by the time this goes live. I've been on Book Talk for almost 5 years, I think, and I read mostly horror and like thriller books. So that's it. That's my qualifications. So we're going rogue.
I love it. And I like that we're bringing in more genres because, like, I'm a romance girly through and through, but can't always do a romance. So you have a story that you'd like us to turn into a book?
I do have a story. Okay, so my story is pretty wholesome, but I feel like it could very easily have gone the other way. So let me give some backstory first. So the year is 2016. I am 20 years old, and my life is perfect. Like, I've never had anything bad happen. Nothing bad has ever happened in my life. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. My parents are together. We live in this nice house. Like, everything's great, okay? My boyfriend and I have been together for years. I just have the perfect family, and I still live at home. Now, my boyfriend decides to get me an ancestry DNA test for Christmas because I don't know anything about, like, really my dad's, like, African-American side of the family, heritage-wise and stuff. So I was like, this would be fun to get this. So he got me this for Christmas, and I was stoked about it. And I took the test, and have you ever done one of those before?
I'm afraid.
Okay, and this was like a while ago, so it was when they were still kind of newer. And so I wasn't doing it at all to like find people. Like, I'm the oldest sibling, my parents have been married forever, whatever. Like, I took it just so I could know more about my heritage. So it takes like a couple months, at least when I took it, for me to get my results back. And I get my results back. It's so fun. I get to see like all these places I'm from. And then I go to bed. I wake up the next morning to a message on Ancestry DNA, and it's an email that comes and it says, you have a DNA match. And I had had a few of them before, and they will match you with people who are like really far out. So like 3rd, 4th, 5th cousins. So I'm assuming it's something like that. My dad's mom was one of 12, so like it wasn't surprising that there were other people.
Oh my God, 12 siblings? Giving birth to 12 people sounds horrible.
I know. And then my dad was an only child, so it was like, yeah, clearly she didn't want to follow along that route. Don't blame her.
So you got the email, sorry.
Yeah, no. So I got the email. And it said, you have a DNA match. I click it, and it says very close match or something like that. So it gives you suggestions. Like, it could be a half sibling, it could be an uncle. I think those are like the only options that it gives me. So I'm immediately like, an uncle? Whoa, like my grandpa had a secret, whatever. But then I look at like the profile of the person, and their age is like, they're like 5 years older than me. So I'm like, that would be like really old for my grandpa to have a secret kid. Like, still, it's not clicking in here that this could be my sibling. Then I saw he sent me a message, and he said, I'm your brother. Like, basically, he was just like, hate to break it to you, but I'm your brother. And I was like, I don't think so.
No, actually.
Even though literally my response was like, oh, hi, I don't think you are. And he's like, no, I am. And I was like, wait, what? And I was just panicking. And I was super close to both of my like sisters. We're all very close. So I remember going into my sister's room and being like, I just got the craziest message you're not going to believe. And I was like looking at it, and I was like, I think he could be. He's 5 years older, so it was before my parents were together, before they had me, stuff like that. So no like cheating drama there. Yeah. So he was like, I'm your brother. And I was like, that's crazy. So I started messaging him more, and he was really sweet. He's from a state nearby where my dad grew up. And so I was like, wow, this is wild. I went to my mom and I was like, hey, Mom. I've always been closer to my mom. I was like, I think like I got this message, like I think dad has a kid that he didn't know about. And she was like, that's wild. And so we told my dad, and he was like, well, we'll have to like get like DNA tests or something. I'm like, this
Yeah,
literally
you
was the
did it,
DNA test.
actually. It's already
Like I
done.
did it. He's your kid. Like reach out. So I went on vacation that week to Florida and we just like messaged the whole week and then we ended up meeting like the week after and like all is well and good and he's great and everything. So it was a happy ending to that story. But I feel like it could have been the opposite, which would be an interesting book to write.
I agree. Oh my God. Secret siblings. Okay.
I
So,
know.
okay. Okay. So, if we're writing our book and you tend to go more
Yeah.
thriller horror, is that the direction that we want to go?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I think we
So,
could do that.
do we want it to be the same reason that we found out that we have a sibling? Or do you want it to be like,
So I think,
okay,
yeah, I think we can do that, but I think we should do like a gender swap. Like, I think instead of finding out I have a brother, I think maybe, or not me, but our
right.
character, I
It's
think
okay. It's self-insert
she,
fan fiction.
I know, I'm like, oh my God. I think maybe it should be like she has brothers or she's an only child and she's always wanted a
Okay.
sister, and she finds out she has a sister who's like very close in
Okay.
age with her to add more of the drama,
Have
I
you
think.
seen that one? I think it's an Amanda Seyfried movie where like she has this roommate that becomes obsessed with her and starts to become her.
No, but it sounds like I
Okay.
would love it. I love an obsession
Right. And
story.
so I'm thinking like something like that where like okay, you've always
Yeah.
wanted a sister. You now have this sister
Yeah.
and y'all are close enough in age and also close enough in location that like
Yeah.
maybe we're spending a lot of time together. Eventually we move in together as like a because you just
Okay,
want to get to know
fun.
your sister. Like you hit it off really well.
Right.
You went to a
Wholesome.
few
Yeah.
like dinners, and maybe this is even like several months down the road.
Yeah.
A lease is ending, or like you, because I think you said you lived at home at this time. So maybe you're
Yeah.
like, I really want to branch out. Like it's a little stifling living at home. Like I'm surrounded by so many men, and I just want to have like a girly pop time. Because you said it was brothers or single
Yeah.
sibling. You just
Yes.
want to have this like girly pop time. So we're gonna move in with the sister after having known her for a little bit. So it's not
Yeah.
like immediately after getting this.
Sure. Yeah. It's like some time has passed. We've become friends. We've become close. Okay. Do we think that she should like, so since we're doing it where they're closer in age, so that means it like is a cheating
Mhm.
thing in our book because I just think that's more
Right.
juicy. And she like loves her parents, her mom, and everything. So do we think she should keep it a secret and it should be like a reveal later on and like not tell anyone because she doesn't want to upset her family?
Could be, could be. I like that.
I
I think
feel
that it would
like,
also drive more of the like, I need to leave this house if you find out about the cheating.
yeah,
But it could also
yeah.
be, I'm having so much trouble keeping this secret. I need to be out of the
Mm-hmm.
house kind of thing.
Yes. And I'm trying to think because I love an
I
unreliable
was also
narrator.
thinking
I feel like most good thrillers have one. So if our main character, should we give them
yes, please.
names?
Let me find a pencil. I gotta write this down.
You name the main character because I'm too close. Like,
Her name is Aubrey. No. I've like been watching a lot of Abbott Elementary. I'm like, Janine. No.
I
Okay,
love
so
Abbott
Janine.
Elementary. Yeah, we could do Janine. And then the sister, let's do another J name. What about like just like
Jackie.
Jackie
I
or
actually love
something?
that they're both J
Yeah,
names. And also Jackie is
same.
giving Yellow Jackets, which I also love.
I haven't seen that.
You gotta. Yellow Jackets is
Really?
so good. I especially
I can't
did
believe
you
I
ever
haven't
watch
seen it.
The Wilds? I talked about this in 2 podcasts in a row now.
No.
You also have to watch The Wilds, which is also a really good.
Is that a
No.
movie or
It's got
a TV
2
show?
seasons,
Okay.
and then it was canceled very rudely by Amazon Prime. They're like,
Hate
no
that.
lesbians allowed, actually. We canceled the show. And I'm like, no, but it was good.
I feel like you have bad luck with that. I've heard you talk about what's
Anne with
another
an E.
show?
I cry about Anne with an E every day.
Yes.
And
About it
Julie and
getting
the Phantoms,
canceled.
I
Yeah.
also cry about Julie and the Phantoms getting canceled. It was definitely targeted at like middle schoolers. Doesn't matter. I had a great
But
time.
you were like this for me.
I love a little musical show, and they canceled it. And that was
Oh,
rude.
that's
And
so
it like had this
sad.
fun little like paranormal element of like all of the ghosts. And then there
Ooh,
was like a ghost
I
society.
love
I don't know. It
ghosts.
was so interesting. And then they were like,
Fun.
no more. I
You have
know,
bad
but it was
luck.
also based off of a telenovela that was also canceled. And so I'm like, maybe that just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, from the
Yeah.
get-go. Okay, so Janine and
Hmm.
Jackie. So Janine's our main character, and I definitely think she should be an
I
unreliable
agree.
narrator. So I'm trying to decide, like, I feel like the whole book we should trust her and like think she like wants the best and she's like good and normal and stuff. But I feel like it should be and like maybe she starts to think that Jackie has like some weird, maybe like Jackie knew that she was her sibling all along and like knew that her mom was the other woman and like resented their family. And so Janine is thinking like, oh, Jackie just wanted to like, sneak her
Hmm.
way in. Like maybe she's just starting to get some little red flags or something from Jackie. But at the end, not that I'm like jumping ahead, it should be a twist that Janine is actually the
I was
crazy
gonna say
one.
that Janine should be the one that's like trying to become
Yes,
Jackie.
I agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I think that that would also be really interesting in like, so Jackie knew. Jackie knew that her dad was cheating with her mom. And I don't
Yes.
know if we want it to be like the secret family in that like her dad is present or if we want it to be in like a he left us because this better family was an
Oh,
option.
I feel like it could be so interesting either way. It would add the extra excitement if the dad was involved in both families because like if Janine's trying to keep this a secret from her mom and her dad sees her around Jackie or something, like that could add some extra drama if the dad knows who Jackie is. So I don't know. What do
God,
you think?
I think that Janine's dad being present is interesting, especially if we're
Hmm.
going to say that Janine is going to sort of take over Jackie's life, because then it's like,
Yeah.
well, they ruined the image of my perfect family, so I'm gonna take this perfect
Yes.
family instead.
Yes. That'll be interesting how that plays in since the dad knows
Right.
both of them. Okay, interesting. I like
Well,
it.
and then maybe that would be a good reason for it not to be that the dad knows both of them, because maybe then she has a different dad
Yeah.
who's like not cheating on his wife. And
Like a
right, like a
stepdad.
stepdad.
Because they definitely have to have the same dad if this
Right,
is
right,
the
right. Sorry.
reason.
Yes, a
Okay, you mean like a
stepdad
stepdad.
who is like
Okay, okay.
very present and very helpful and very like maybe he'll even come to the apartment to like fix some stuff, and that's when and like he's just like a nice guy. He's just like very
Yeah.
dad energy.
Like a Charlie from
Right,
Twilight
except
type.
like he is present and cares where Charlie was
No, okay, movie
okay.
Charlie, not
It's
book
like,
Charlie.
oh, that Charlie was really doing much.
I love Charlie. Or like oh my God, it's been so long since I've watched it, but the dad in Stranger Things.
There was a dad in
Did you
Stranger
watch
Things.
that? Well, like Eleven's like dad. Like the cop.
Oh, that's like Eleven's dad who puts her in an institution.
No, no, like the one that adopts her. Not Papa. You're like
Yeah,
every
you got
example
bad
you're
examples.
using are
No, okay,
terrible.
okay. Yes, I'm with you now. The
Okay.
officer, the sheriff.
Yeah, that's gonna bother me
I
that
don't
I can't
remember
remember his name.
either, so
Anyways,
okay. Hopper.
Hopper. Hopper.
Yeah, very
Yes.
Hopper.
Okay, so
Hopper
Hopper
energy.
energy. Why did I use both cops as examples?
Say again?
I don't know. Crazy. I said, why did I use both cops
Just
as
on your brain, I
examples?
guess.
Like, no, scary.
You did. You said
Okay,
fictional
so
cops are the way to go. That's a family man right there.
I take it back. I take it back. Okay. So the stepdad, Jackie's stepdad is great, and she has like her own
Hmm.
perfect
But she
family.
also wants to know her sister.
That,
Like she's an only sibling, I'm gonna
yeah.
say, and like has always wanted
Okay, both of
siblings.
them.
Got to find out that
Okay.
she has a sibling, or I guess she has several, because the boys are also her siblings, right? The brothers.
I guess we didn't really clarify if we were gonna have Janine be an only child or have brothers. I don't
Yeah,
think it really
whatever. Who
matters
cares
much
what
which
they're
way.
doing?
We can say she has brothers, but like whatever. She's not that close to them. Maybe
Mhm.
they're younger. Okay. So how should we like introduce them? I feel like there should be like a big event or something that they go to just to make it interesting when they do their first
Okay.
meeting, because obviously like meeting up for the first time is kind of a big
Right, you gotta do it in
deal.
public.
Yeah, and we want them, I think, for their first meeting to vibe like really well, for it to be like, wow, these are the sisters, like they have so much in common. They like doing the same thing. So I don't know if they should do like a
I was
music
gonna say a
festival or
concert.
go
Like,
to like,
yeah,
really?
because they would be like, "Oh, do you have any time this weekend?" "Oh, well, I'm going to this concert, but like I can do stuff the other days." And they're like, "Wait, I also have tickets to that concert."
Yeah, exactly. I think that's perfect. And it would make sense if like Janine was gonna go anyways, because she's trying to kind of sneak around and she doesn't want her mom to know that she's doing all
Right?
this weird stuff because she doesn't want her mom to know. So if she was already going anyways, that's perfect. And they can meet there and it goes well and they're like, wow. we were meant to be sisters all along.
That makes sense, as they are. Yes. No, I like that. I think that that's good. So we've met at this concert. We've hung out, had a good time.
Hmm.
Several other meetings later, we decide to move in together. And maybe we'll start putting in some stuff of like, maybe Jackie isn't ready.
I know, I'm like, was both J names a mistake?
Okay.
I keep getting mixed
Maybe
up.
Jackie is saying that she's like not ready to meet Bio Dad. And so that's why Janine has to keep it a secret. But also that pulls in the unreliable narrator of like, well, Jackie won't let me, blah, blah, blah. So,
Right. Because maybe really in real life, Jackie really doesn't even care to meet the
right, she
dad at
just wants
all.
a
Like
sister.
she's got her yeah, she already has been told by her mom the situation with the dad or whatever, and she's just not interested in meeting him. She already has her dad. So she just wants a sister, but I feel like Janine could like twist that and make it seem like Jackie's like
Right.
sneaking around, doesn't want him to know. She's like, why doesn't she want to meet him? And like make it this big thing in her head, even though it's not.
Yes, absolutely. I like that a lot. So we've moved in
Mhm.
together, and part of that is that Janine is like, I can't keep this big secret. Like, I need to distance myself from my family. And perhaps that is sort of when she starts like, and we'll see it a few times throughout the book where her family's calling her. They like want to get in contact with her. They miss her. And she's like, "Oh, I can't because
Mhm.
of the secret, the big secret. I can't lie to them, so it's better that I
Yeah.
just don't talk to them." And that's
Yeah.
when we see her like slowly starting to be like way too invested in Jackie's family.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Like hanging out with Jackie's family, going to the farmer's market with them, like spending more time with them and not spending as much time with her own family, especially distancing herself, I think, from
Mhm.
her dad more than anything. Because I feel like oh my God, I can't get the name
Janine is our
straight.
main girl.
Janine. Yeah. Because I think Janine is super upset with the dad, but trying to keep
Mhm.
it all in for now. Okay. I like that. Somebody needs to
Okay,
die because this is a thriller.
sure.
We need a
Fine.
death.
I'm in.
Right about now. And I think it should be the dad
Okay.
because I feel like he has probably information that we want, like information about like what happened if he knew about Jackie, what happened with Jackie's mom, like all this type of stuff. And I just feel like it'll make it more thrilling if they have to get all that in a roundabout way. And we're going to have to figure out like who killed him. And I feel like an obvious thought would be because Jackie has been, not wanting to meet him and everything, that we're going to like lead in the direction that like maybe Jackie did it. But how do you think he should die? Like, I feel like we have to figure out. It's got to be something where the police aren't too involved to try to be looking for a
Mhm.
killer, but like we can
Well,
pinpoint
and
it
maybe
back to
it's
one of the
not
girls.
even that like someone killed him. Maybe like if
Yeah, it could just
like
be an
he just had like
actual,
a
like,
heart attack
natural
or he
death.
fell off the
Heart
roof or
attack, yeah,
whatever, doing like
definitely.
handyman dad things.
True.
But because Janine is so suspicious of what Jackie's up to, she thinks
Yeah.
Jackie did it. She thinks that like, well, the
Ooh,
police aren't
yeah.
investigating, but it was obviously wasn't a heart attack. Like Jackie had something to do with this.
Right.
And maybe it'll be like right
Ooh, okay.
after Jackie visited the family home, but like didn't tell the dad who she was. Just like a
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Just like came over
right.
as a friend or was like, oh yeah, I'm the new roommate or whatever, met for the first time
I
and
think that
then
someone needs to make a
left.
comment. Be like, "Oh my God, like y'all
You look so much
literally
alike or
y'all could be
something.
sisters."
Yes, I love that. Okay, maybe like probably
Mhm.
Janine's mom has to say something and be like, "Wow, you guys really look so much alike." And then, maybe they like make eye contact and they're like,
Yeah.
"What?" And he dies. Do we think before he dies there should be any like like Janine should confront him? Like I feel like a confrontation would be kind of interesting, either from Jackie or Janine or both of them. I don't know.
Well, so if we're gonna do it from Jackie, then it has to be dual POV because Janine wouldn't have been there. And if we're gonna do it from
Oh, you're right.
Janine, then that doesn't matter.
Dual POV is too
Right? I'm like,
complicated. I
I
don't
don't know
want
that
to do
I
it.
have the
No,
capacity for
I don't
this.
have the brain power for that. Okay, so then it's gonna have to be Janine addressing him or
I think
confronting
maybe
him.
in like a low key way of like maybe if she is gonna be an only sibling, be like, Do you ever wish you had any more kids? Like, just kind of feeling it out.
Yeah, just to gauge like if he has an idea of her or whatever
And
that she
then
exists.
mom makes that joke that, like, oh, y'all look so similar. And maybe even like a
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood lady who's like at the house for some reason is like, y'all could be
Yeah.
sisters. And then
Mm-hmm.
in Janine's mind, that then because she asked her father, he like confronts Jackie and that leads to this death. That's not what happens, but that's like what she
Right.
has.
But that's what in her head what
And
has
I
been
think,
going
and I
on.
don't know how we could get there, but it would be very interesting to me if the ending is that her mom also dies or is killed, like actually killed, not like a heart attack, and then
Okay.
she just
Okay.
joins that other family. That she's like,
But I feel like there's not the space
for
for
both of them.
Jackie to like if she's right. Like if she's wanting to take over Jackie's life, like Jackie can't be there. So is it gonna be Jackie that needs to also die at the end at the hands of Janine if Jackie really wants to take over or if Janine wants to take over her perfect
Well,
life?
they look so similar. It could be that perhaps Jackie and Janine are in a car. Janine is driving.
Okay.
Mom,
Okay.
who doesn't have a name, is driving the other direction.
Okay.
Janine, like, intentionally has a car crash happen, moves Jackie,
With her mom in
right,
the other car.
moves Jackie
Okay.
to the front seat. Or I'm thinking that there's like a red light camera involved.
Oh.
So you can't see
Okay.
both of them in the front seat. So Jackie's got to be like in the back. Maybe she's asleep. Maybe she had like a drink and Janine is driving her home and just decides like,
Yeah. Or she like
right,
drugged
like
her or
she
something.
she drinks, she does drugs, like she's not a good
Right.
daughter. I would be a better
Yeah.
daughter.
Oh, okay. And then what? Switches her
Right,
into the
like
driver's seat so that she gets in trouble for. Oh. Oh, okay. I like that because I feel like she likes her mom and she's upset that her dad like betrayed her in
right,
that way. So I like that she doesn't even know it's her mom, but she was like, "Let me stage an
right.
accident, put Janine in the front seat so that she'll get like
Mhm.
arrested, and then I'll everything will be perfect for me because I'll have my mom and I can have a good relationship with her and I can move in on her
Right,
family." But then she finds out that it was her mom in the other
right.
car and which she wasn't
And
expecting.
I think so. I think that in that sense, Jackie doesn't die. I think
I agree.
Jackie is arrested for
Yeah.
the accident, and they know that it was her.
So, but does the mom
Right.
dies
And I
though, you
think that
think?
that's got to be
Okay.
like part of it is that like she's in intensive care, she's in the
Yeah.
hospital for a little while, um,
Mhm.
and it's like maybe Janine isn't even thinking about like fully taking over Jackie's life until her mom dies. And maybe Jackie's mom
Whoa.
comes in and is like, "Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry this happened. Like, you're welcome at our house anytime." And this is when her mom is still alive. And then like once she
Yeah.
flatlines, then
Right.
Janine is like, "Anytime?"
Right. Okay, I like that. And I feel like what should happen too, because all of this is because like not Jackie, oh my God, Janine
Double
is
J names. Double J names.
Janine is so upset that her dad like did this to them or
Mhm.
whatever. But I feel like after both of her parents have died, I feel like she should at the end of the book find some proof, like maybe like a journal or something, that her mom knew all along that she had another
Oh.
sibling and like they had worked through it and they were fine with it. And so like all of this was for nothing.
I like that.
Yeah. So I do feel like that should happen. But I like the obsession component where she like moves in with.
Yeah, and I think that like slowly but surely they like start to become the same person, which is like important for the red light camera part of that like they're doing their hair the same way, they're wearing the same clothes.
Okay. This reminds me of a book I've read called I Want You More. Have you read that?
Yes.
It's a thriller. It's like that, isn't it? Where they start to like do their hair the same way and like they by Swan Huntley. It's about the like I think she's like a chef and a ghostwriter or
Yes.
something.
Yes. Zibby published.
They start to just like little things and people are like, "Oh, you kind of look
The
like
big
her." And
difference
so
here
they're
is the
starting is
siblings are not banging. The siblings are not
yes.
banging.
Yes, thank you. But they are starting to look more and more like. But here's the thing. if Jackie goes to jail for the murder of Janine's mom, do you think like Jackie's family is still going to be down with her like moving in? Like, don't you think her family will have some suspicions or anything? Or no, you think
I
her
think that
family?
that's got to be like a lot of the middle is like building these strong
Yeah,
ties with her family.
you're right. So that they wouldn't suspect anything weird. And like maybe also Janine is like sowing seeds of doubt into the parents of Jackie and saying like I'm kind of worried about her, like she's been like drinking a lot and like before all of this happens so that when it happens,
Oh my God.
yeah, maybe they shouldn't I know. I'm thinking should they even be in the car together? Because if she was a good sister, she wouldn't be letting her sister like
Right,
drunk
but
drive.
she is
So
already
maybe
angry with Jackie for her father's death.
yeah,
Because she blames
true.
Jackie for her father's heart attack.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, juicy. Okay. So by the end of the book, like, are we gonna let Jackie stay in jail, or is she gonna get out and like get her revenge against Janine when she figures out
So
like
I
what
think
she's
that it would
done?
be homicide, not murder. I think that it's like an unplanned,
Yeah, like vehicular
right?
manslaughter, but you can still
Oh,
get a lot of
definitely,
years for that.
especially if it's like decided it was drunk
If they,
driving,
yeah,
which is what Janine is setting her up for.
right.
I think that it would be an interesting option if so it takes a long time for things to go to trial. So
Yeah.
she's in jail and she's like, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, I swear it wasn't me. And I think
Well, what if she didn't know it wasn't her? Like maybe she really was so drugged out and Janine like convinced her enough, like, you were drinking, we were at the like why would she have any reason to think that she would, do that? If she thought she was drunk and she had been drinking or whatever, then maybe she didn't even realize it wasn't her.
yeah,
Or maybe she at first she didn't, but like she's starting to be like, but I wouldn't do that. Like little things are starting to maybe come back to her or something piece by
right.
piece.
I think that we can have an epilogue scene with the lawyer where they're like discussing her defense or if she's gonna plead guilty.
Yeah,
And I think that I'm pulling it back to that red light camera, which by the way isn't even legal in my
okay.
state, but it
Really?
exists some places.
Yeah.
I've seen TV shows. It's in Veronica Mars.
Right. This is fiction.
Pulling back to that red light camera, I think that she's gonna notice that like there's something a little bit different about the clothes that she was booked in and the clothes that
Mm.
are in the red light camera. Because like I think
Ooh.
that
Yeah.
Janine tried to dress them similarly, but they are not dressed
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Yeah. Right. Because she couldn't have gone out and been in the
Right.
exact
Like
same.
so
Like
they're
that
both
would
in blue
be
shirts,
extra
but one's
weird.
a crew neck, one's a V-neck kind of thing.
Right. Okay. And so do you think her lawyer is going to get her off before she even is like convicted or whatever?
I think that
I feel like she should spend like quite a bit of
right,
time in
because the
jail.
trial takes a long time.
Yeah, it takes
Right. So
years.
she's in jail for all of that.
But maybe like okay, if you get like arrested for a DUI and like vehicular manslaughter, like they probably do drug testing,
Right. But
right?
she
So
oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was like, but she was drunk. You're right. We had discussed drugs as well. Carry on.
Yeah, yeah. So like maybe there was like something else there and it took a long time to get the results back and she was like, I definitely didn't like do that or whatever. And so maybe then there's like that investigation into who they might be thinking like not someone switched her, but that she got like her
Right.
drink was
Like, why are
spiked
there
or something
roofies
and they're
in your
trying to figure
blood?
out yeah, what's going on there? And they're like, and eventually it like leads them back to Janine and they're able to figure it out, but after like a long
I
time.
think that that should be left like in our book, our lovely book. I think it could
Open.
be left
Yeah,
open
yeah.
that like the seeds
Okay, I
of
like that.
doubt are there.
Yeah,
Maybe even Jackie starts to doubt that she did it, and then
yeah.
it kind of just ends. And then you're like, whoa, wait, what?
I like that. No, I love an open ending. And I think the whole time, like, Janine needs to be so delusional that, like, we don't get anything in her head that's like, oh, I shouldn't have done this to her, did it? Like, she tells it as if that's exactly what
Mhm.
happened. Even though, like, we know she did it and did the twist and everything. Like, she won't, like, admit that to
Right.
herself. I
Like
feel like
even in her mind,
she
that
has
was Janine
yeah, right. That's what happened. And it
or Jackie.
was like her fault. Yeah, it was like her fault
Right.
anyways. So she just convinces herself of that. Okay, I like it. I like the open ending. Is that just lazy because we're not good at
No.
Is that why it's an
It's not lazy, it was intentional. If we wanted to wrap
We
it up,
can't
we
wrap it up.
could. I just don't think that that's fun.
I know. I also do think it would be kind of fun alternate ending to have like Jackie go to jail for this, thinking she did it, like be convicted of the crime, be in jail for like years and years, and just like have the epilogue be like Jackie basically like living her life, like going to a family dinner at like her family's place or something with her kids and like happily ever after with Jackie's family, and Jackie just stays in jail forever.
Well, we could do a choose your own adventure ending. If
Oh,
you
fun.
want Janine to if you want Janine to get away with it, go to page X. If you
Yeah.
want Jackie to get out of jail,
If
go
you
to
want,
page X.
yeah. No, that's so fun. Choose your own adventure. Yes. I read a book recently that had choose your own adventure. I was like, what? The book, I hated the book. It was like 2 stars, but I was like, whoa, I haven't read a book with choose your own adventure in forever.
I like that you were like, but it was
Shouldn't have done it in
bad.
this book, but yeah, the book sucked, but still, I was like, oh, okay, that's something. That's something creative.
So I think that we're done. I think we did it. We storyboarded a great thriller. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
I don't think so. I think that wraps it up. I feel like if I read that book, I would maybe give it
I was
3 stars. Like, I feel like
I'm like, it was fine.
it was maybe a little predictable, but yeah, sometimes you just need a good 3 star book in your life, you know?
Well, we did it. We storyboarded a book in like 30-ish minutes. Well done, us.
Yay.
So, you are quite the reader, as am I. Can you tell me what your favorite book series or book of all time is?
Okay. Favorite book series of all time has to be Hunger Games. Like, I just feel like there's no competition. Are you a Hunger Games girly? Or, like, are you excited about
Well,
the new book?
I don't read past the trilogy. The trilogy is very important to me. I don't care.
So you didn't read
No,
Ballad of
I don't
Songbirds
want
and
the
Snakes?
origin story of the villain. I don't want you to redeem the villain.
It was so
I don't care if he's
good.
hot.
I love a villain origin story.
I don't
Okay,
care if he's
fine.
hot. He sucks.
He sucks, but it's so interesting to read about an evil character.
Maybe someday.
Anyways, okay, you're missing out. I guess you're a romance girly, so like the romance like aspects they try to weave into that, you would be like so against, I feel
I've
like.
seen clips. I don't like it.
Yeah. But people are trying to romanticize it when it should
Okay.
not be. Like, it's very clear he's evil in it. Anyways,
So that's your favorite series of all time. What's your favorite book recently?
Probably in the last like 3-4 years, my favorite book has been Monstrilio. Have you heard of it? It's a literary horror. Zando published it years ago. And it's about a family living in Mexico City. It's a mother, a father, and a son, and the son dies at like 5 years old. And when he dies, the mom cuts out a piece of his lung and she starts to feed this like piece of flesh and it turns into a monster. And so then the book is about that monster, which is called Monstrilio, and it's crazy and it's so good and it's about grief and it's like really deep and gritty.
I thought she was going to feed it to her other kids. And I was like, oops.
No.
Okay, great. And what was your last 5-star read?
I think my last 5-star read was Death of the Author by Nnedi Okorafor.
I've heard great things.
So good. It was my first Nnedi Okorafor book, I think, that I had read, which is crazy because I know Binti and stuff is so popular, but loved Death of the Author.
Do you want to tell us anything about it?
It's a sci-fi about a disabled Nigerian American woman who her life is like kind of a mess, and she's a writer, she's an adjunct professor, but she kind of hates working at the university she works at. She writes a book about robots and somehow it gets published and becomes like a worldwide phenomenon. So it's like a book within a book. You get the book that she wrote and then the story about her writing it, and she goes on all these crazy adventures and stuff.
Do you get to read the book that she wrote? Oh, yeah. I like that.
I know, me too. And it's a lot of times when you have like a book within a book like that, I feel like I'm more invested in like one than the other, but I really like the book she wrote that we get to read, which is called Rusted Robots, and the story about her equally, which I just feel like never happens. So it was great.
What are you currently reading?
I am currently reading Make Me Famous by Maud Ventura. Did you read My Husband? When it was... Oh, you should read that. I feel like you might like it. This is a French author. This is a French translation. And the first book she wrote, have you heard of My Husband?
No, I don't think I read a lot of translated fiction. I should.
Ooh, okay. My Husband, if you like an obsession story, you would love My Husband. It's about a woman who is so obsessed with her husband and like every little thing he does, she like
Oh,
overanalyzes. She has kids, but like she does not care about the kids at all. She just had kids because she knew her husband wanted kids. But and I know that sounds like, ew, why would you want to read a book about a woman obsessing over a man, right? But she's such an interesting character. It's really good. So, anyways, then she just wrote this book about a woman who wants to be famous, and it's like the only thing she cares about. She's like a sociopath. She doesn't care about anything else. She just wants to be a celebrity. So that's what I'm reading now. It comes out, I think, in March,
so you
May
read a lot of
2025.
horror
So.
and thrillers. What would you say had the biggest twist of like any book that you
Ooh,
read?
that's a good
Sorry, maybe that one
question.
before.
I don't know because I don't believe in a
Oh,
big twist, personally. Twists are fun, but I feel like a lot of times you see them coming and things like when an author does a book with a big twist, I feel like a lot of times it makes a lot of things that happen at the beginning of the book like not make
mm.
sense. So a lot of the books I read are like character focused thrillers that don't have big twists. But I will say probably one of my favorite books with a twist is My Husband that I was just talking about the woman obsessed with her husband. But I'm not a
That's
big
okay.
twist
I was
person.
just thinking about the book that we wrote with a big twist, and I was like,
I know.
I wonder, twist.
A twist is easy for a thriller, but I don't know if it's always my favorite. I feel like if you can write a good thriller that's thrilling without a twist, then that's like impressive.
What is your
I'm
most
trying to think of
anticipated book of 2025?
my most anticipated is probably, well, I am excited for the new
Hmm.
Emily Henry. Are you an Emily Henry girl
I've
or
read a
not
few.
really? Okay, so no.
I want to be. I want to read a funny story because there's a librarian in it. But
Yeah. Yeah. I like that one. And I think she's a youth
oh, cool.
librarian too. So, which
Right.
you're a teen librarian, right? So, yeah. Which I think she was in that book. I'm also really excited for The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Cañas. Have you ever read any of her books? I love how I keep asking that for every book I bring up and you're like, "No." We have different book
Okay.
tastes. It's a I don't even know what it's about, but the author is the one that wrote The Hacienda, if you've heard of it, or her other book is kind of a romance. Oh my gosh, what's it called?
Oh
Vampires in El
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Norte. Okay,
I'm
did
not
you
a
read that one
gothic
or you just have
person.
heard of it? Okay. Oh, I love a gothic story.
That's okay. I also am not a dark
But
academia girly, and that hits everyone.
no, I don't like dark academia either. I know. What is everyone's obsession on the internet with dark academia? Every time I read a dark academia book, I'm
I
like,
like
I
the
don't like
aesthetic.
this.
I
This
don't like
sucks.
the content.
Yeah, I completely agree. I learned that about myself recently. But anyways, I don't know what her newest book is about, but I know it's going to be spooky and atmospheric and probably gothic, so I'm into it.
You said hacienda, and it reminded me of the Enchanted Hacienda, which is not horror or thriller, but it's a fun little romance.
Oh, cute. I love a
It's
good
about
romance.
a
Like, I
flower
do.
farm. So her family
Cute.
has flower magic. So they like
Oh,
can
fun.
it's I don't know, it spells kind of potiony, but basically like
I love
different
that.
flowers have different meanings, and if you put the flowers together in a certain way, then they can do things like help
Fun.
someone, and it's like you have to be in the know to know that that's what this flower
Right.
shop can do, because otherwise they just sell flowers. But if you're in the
Right.
know, then you can know
Ooh,
that like
fun.
that yeah, they have you can request that the witches make you a flower bundle that is going to help, not cure, your mom's Alzheimer's. That they
Fun.
have a bundle to which and sometimes that goes awry because like maybe the way that they help that is to
Mm,
like help your mom remember why she loves your dad. And so then it's kind of a love spell.
right.
And if that goes to the wrong person,
Ooh.
then it's like
Yeah,
a consent
interesting.
issue.
Definitely. Has this author written a bunch of other books? I feel like maybe I've written a
Lucy
book by this
Cervantes.
author. I know
Yes.
the name sounds familiar.
Her books have appeared on national lists, including the American Booksellers Association New
Oh,
Voices, Barnes & Noble Best Young Readers, as well as Amazon's Best Books of the Month. She has also earned multiple awards recognitions, including New Mexico Book Award.
hmm. I think I've
Oh my
maybe read a
god,
book
and
by
it has
her.
discussion
Can't remember.
questions at the end. I love when a book has discussion questions. Not that I'm ever
Yeah.
reading it like as a book club where I want to talk about it with other people, but I will read it myself and be like, oh yes.
Same. I know. I'm like, how do people think because sometimes I read other people's reviews and I'm like, wow, how did you like think about that sort of thing when you're reading the book? Like, that's so insightful. And questions like
I feel
that
like
help
I'm a
me.
book reader. I'm not a book reviewer because my review is
Yeah.
like good.
Loved
Had
it. Hated
fun.
it. Yeah.
I'm too old to read
Yeah.
this.
Cute. No, so are mine, and I try so hard to be like a reviewer and think about things like analytically and like take notes, but I'm just like,
I
I
think I'm
liked it.
only
I
good at
didn't like it.
analyzing it
That's
when
it.
I didn't like it. And I'm like, here's all the reasons I didn't like it.
Same. Yeah, and I used to be so confident in that, and then I saw somebody years ago make a post and was like, "It's so easy to hate on a book," and I was like, "Okay,
I
well,
mean, that's true.
thanks."
But yeah,
It's
and I mean, if
fun.
you're going to read the reviews, you want to know what someone liked and what someone
I
didn't
think
like.
negative. I'm a big, big supporter of negative reviews. I feel like they're
Yeah.
so helpful.
Especially
So.
because sometimes I'll read the negative review and it's like there were queer characters, and I'm like, so I'm still gonna read this.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be something that I like absolutely love that I find out in a negative review. I'm like, I've multiple times negative reviews have made me want to pick up a book. So if anyone has negative reviews about our book that we just wrote today, let us know. Our
That's
feelings won't
true.
be hurt.
Yeah, I feel like, and I know that it's like big taboo in the romance industry that people are like, I hate Secret Baby. And I'm like, Loki, I love a secret. Not like, I don't really want to follow anyone's pregnancy. I don't care about that. But like, there's
Same.
already a
Yeah.
secret baby. I'm like, ooh, secrets.
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. A surprise like pregnancy that like as soon as the main character starts to like have morning
I think
sickness, I'm
that
like, I'm
surprise
out. I
pregnancy
can't
and
do
secret
that.
baby are different.
They are different for sure. Yeah. But yeah, surprise pregnancy, out. Secret baby, in. Yeah. Secret a
Yeah,
grown baby,
or like
especially in.
they're toddling, you know, it passed.
Yeah. No more
I also
diapers.
there's
Like,
one that I
secret's okay.
talk about this all the time because I genuinely love this book. But there's the All In series by Helena Hunting. The first one is called A
Okay.
Lie for a Lie, and it's a secret baby book where they like met and had like this whirlwind summer romance, and then they leave. And the problem is that, and he gets like really upset when he finds out he has a secret baby, and she's like, look, I tried to find you. You lied to me about everything, and so I couldn't find you. You told me that your family were alpaca farmers. I looked at all the alpaca farmers in New York. They haven't heard of you.
Wait, so is the romance end up being between the baby mom and the actual dad, or no?
It
It's the
does.
dad with a new
It's
character.
like,
Okay.
it's a sports romance. It's a hockey romance. And
Okay. Oh,
he
I love
didn't
hockey.
want her to be like taken in by his hockey fame.
Okay.
Genuinely, I love this
So.
book. Anytime I'm in like a big reading slump, I'm like, you know what? We'll fix it. Reread this one.
Reread.
It's just like kind
That's
of
so
silly
funny.
and fun.
Yeah. No,
And I
that
like,
sounds fun.
genuinely, I like Helena Hunting's books sometimes, and I just read one of hers, and I think that like she used to do where it's like H Hunting is her like dark romance, and then Helena Hunting is her like
Okay.
regular.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's always done Helena Hunting for her like extremely smutty books, but the Lie for a Lie one is like her tamest series.
Really? But is it tame at all
I
or
would
no?
say so. It's very like
It is. Oh, okay.
gentle. It's kind of like fade to black,
Okay.
and then like, and then they banged, and you're
Okay.
like, I understand.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like it'll
together.
kind of be like one or two sentences of like they laid
Yeah.
together, and you're like, yeah.
That's kind of boring.
Look, I'm not in it for the sex. I was in it for the hockey romance.
Totally. You got pulled into the hockey fame, that's for sure.
Dude, I love hockey romance. There's so many of
Really?
them.
I've never
They're
read
all
a
the
hockey
exact
romance.
same.
Really. I would have been well, okay. I don't really believe in sports, so I don't really like read sports romance very, very often. But if I were to read a sports romance, it probably would be a hockey romance because I just think hockey's fun. But after all the stuff happened like a few years ago with the hockey romance drama on Book Talk, I was
Yeah,
just
but
like,
that was
okay.
that girl. That had nothing to do with the sport. That had to do with like
No, I know.
people feeling
like
a little
hockey,
too comfortable.
No, I know. It just made me feel icky,
No,
so
I
I was
agree.
just like, ugh, okay. But if you have a hockey romance that you think I should read out of all of the ones you've read,
I don't have
what
a
would you
hockey
recommend?
romance for you. I have a basketball romance that I think you should read. I think you should
Interesting.
read
What,
yeah.
Kennedy Ryan?
I think you should read Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan.
I have not actually. I've read quite a few books by Kennedy Ryan, but
That one's
never
just
Long Shot. So maybe I should
romantic
read it.
thriller, and so I think that you would like it more because
Oh,
it's
okay,
a thriller.
fun.
But also,
Okay,
it's like
fun. I'll have to try it. I didn't
deeply
realize that would be a thriller.
traumatizing. So just like be
Well, all
aware.
her books are
Yeah.
for the most part.
Well, there's a part like when her abusive partner is like using a gun on her, like
Okay.
hand movements
Thanks
for
for the
those
visual.
listening audio only.
Right.
It's not cool.
Silent. Okay, good to know.
It's a little deeply traumatic, but it's a good book.
Yeah, okay. That wasn't the type of traumatizing direction I thought you were gonna go in,
Well,
but
so her like abusive partner gets her pregnant non-consensually.
yikes.
She has the child and then he like uses that child to like keep her in line.
Oh my gosh. My mom loves this book. She told me about it. Well, she didn't tell me about it, but she was like, I love this book. You should read. But she did not mention any of that.
I think that it's important to go in like a little bit eyes open.
Yeah, I think so too, based
Yeah.
on what I've heard. But I'm sure I'll love it. I love all Kennedy
Right.
Ryan's great.
Yes.
The
Yes.
best.
Yes.
Have you read her new book that's coming out this year? Do you have an arc of it?
I don't. The last one I have is the re-release of Real, and so I'm still working on that one.
Okay.
But no, I don't have an arc of the new one, but I will read it when it comes out.
Are you a Virgo?
That's right. We're both Virgos.
Yeah. I was like, that's Virgo
I
energy.
think you also I love your bookish spreadsheet where we can track our reading.
Yes,
Tell
thank
us
you.
a little bit. I already use it because I buy it every year. But tell us like some of your favorite features in your little spreadsheet.
Yes, for the listeners. So I do a spreadsheet on Etsy. Aubrei K templates is my Etsy name. I sell them in multiple different color schemes every single year, and you can fill out a line every time you finish a book so that you can track a lot of cool stuff. And it's very like customizable, but you can track author diversity, so like author race, ethnicity. You can track gender of the author, queer rep in the books. I'm trying to think what else. Like page length, all that type of stuff, genre, and then there's also space for you to add extra stuff. So some people will add like publisher imprints and things like that to track whatever you like, motifs, tropes, things like that.
I added
And it gives you pretty
Yeah,
graphs.
I love the graphs.
Which I love.
Part of my favorite. I added
Yeah.
publisher imprint just because I am working
Same.
on slowly but surely like telling the publishers that I've talked about their
Same.
book.
That was literally my plan too. I was like, I get so many books and stuff, which I'm so grateful for. But then I'm like, then I'll post about it. I never tag them. Not that I'm like, I need to be like more
Well, and
locked
just like
in on
having
this.
the like I'll tag them, but then I'll like I was deleting a bunch of my videos. Not deleting. I was archiving a bunch of my videos whenever TikTok
Yeah.
was going down because I was like, I don't want people to
Yeah.
be able to just comment whatever they want and me not be able to change things.
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
was privating like everything, and I had thousands of videos because like every day for a few years,
Yeah.
that's like a lot of videos.
Years. Yeah.
And so I was privating everything, and then Zibby was asking me if I wanted a book, and whenever they ask you, they'll put like, please link previous things that you have reviewed, and I'm like, girl, I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's going to take me forever to find. Exactly. And like, I decided to start doing that because, well, I used to be in Berkeley's influencer program and then they kicked me out this year because I like didn't tag them enough and tell them whatever. So now I'm like, okay, let me actually keep track if I actually want to stay in some of these influencer programs and stuff so that I actually can show them what I've done as a thank you.
I left regular
both did that.
Berkeley. I just didn't reapply. I'm still in Berkeley Romance because I feel like that's like where
Okay.
I am.
That's your thing.
I
Yeah,
missed-
yeah, yeah. It's upsetting because Berkeley is like they'll come out with only like 1 or 2 books a year that I really want to read, but then it's like the books that I really want to read. Like it'll be like the new Emily Henry or the new Isabel Kanyes one I talked about. That's Berkeley too, and I'm like I don't want to read any of the other books you come out with, but I want that.
No one
early,
gets
and now
the
I can't
Emily
get
Henry
it.
one unless they're like really up there. So don't even worry.
Well, you get the digital
That's
arc
true.
though in the romance. Yeah, but are you like an e-reader
I'm not
or
a huge
no?
e-reader.
love
I
e-reading.
can, but I pretty much
Really?
exclusively read KU on my phone. I
Oh,
used to
okay.
try to do
Yeah.
more of the e-reader, and I think that NetGalley has gotten better about this, but they used to do like image PDFs, and so I couldn't like change the font size and change like how it you just had to like zoom in
Oh.
and read, and I was like, this is the worst thing.
Because you don't have like an actual e-reader, you just use your phone.
I have one. I don't use it. I don't even know where it is.
Really? Oh my gosh, I love mine.
I have it. I'll take it on like planes, but I don't.
Yeah.
No, I mostly read on my phone. I know it's bad for my eyes, but here I am.
Okay.
It's a paperwhite, so I will read it like when I'm outside.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Because I can't see my
Cool
phone
day.
at all.
Yeah, you got to take it like on your honeymoon if you're going
will.
somewhere nice.
My intention is to be drunk by a beach for a full week. Thank you so much for listening. This has been If It Was a Book. I don't ever remember what to say here. Boop, 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 boop. It takes me a minute, okay? The outro stresses me out so
You're
much.
good. You should make your guests do it. And then it would be like less stressful for you. You should just like give them a starting next time. You should make your guests do it. Oh,
Okay.
I could try. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. This is If It Was a Book, a literary podcast where we take your stories or our stories and write them into a book.
You did great. Yeah, I love it. If you have a story that you would like us to turn into a book, you can email that at ifitwasabook@gmail.com. You can follow TikTok and Instagram at If It Was a Book. You can also follow me, the host, on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Wicked Reads. And Aubrey, you can follow
On TikTok at Earl Grey Please, on Instagram at obs.camilla, and on YouTube at Earl Grey Please.
You can watch the episode on YouTube, or you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.